18 Minutes Mike with Real Life Photography. I got your request for edits with LXC 2, 3, and 4. And I wanted to go ahead and show you those, and then side-by-sides actually of edited with my presets RLP. So without further ado, here we go. Here's the first one. Let me make sure I reset it because I was playing with it. Alright, so let's see, LXC. So here's 2, 1 click. Now there's grain added on both of our presets, LXC and RLP. There's 3, and then 4 is kind of high contrast. So what I would do with this already, because you shot it at 6400 ISO, let's go ahead and drop the grain out. You can still see it has plenty of grain in it, just naturally from shooting it with such high ISO. And then I think I would increase exposure just a little bit, and I maybe would add just a hint of magenta because there's a little bit too much greenish tint here. Alright, so that's the first one. I'm going to create a virtual copy here, and I'm going to reset it, and then go down and apply. The mouse is jumping around. Go down and apply RLP. I think on this one, 1, and I have a little bit more magenta already built into or a little bit more reddish tones in the preset, so I would drag the tint over just a little bit, maybe somewhere right in there, maybe increase highlights just a little bit. So what we'll do now is do a before and after. LXC on the left, RLP on the right. And you can tweak these to where they look a lot alike. There. And that's probably as close as I'm going to get without really diving in and doing a major edit. For the sake of these, I like to show just kind of the 1 click so that people can kind of see the differences between the two. So that's the first one. And let's do the second one. Let's go back into full mode. Reset this. And let's do a 1 click edit with LXC. There's number 2. Number 3 is a little bit more blue, which I would raise exposure a little bit here. And then 4 is just going to be, to me, it's just going to be too much orange. I mean, you can click it out with a white balance, but I don't know. Still, I don't think it's going to look right. Oops. Let's go. Let's switch that back. Choose number 3. Create another virtual copy here. And go into... Come on. Right. Wrong one. Now we'll reset here. And we're going to use, on this one, RLP03. Increase exposure a little bit. Maybe a tiny bit of warmth, and you can see the differences between the two. Right. Once again, just kind of straighten it up a little bit and create a virtual copy now. And let's do, I think we'll use LXC03 again on this one. And the one of my biggest complaints I think about the LXC presets is the skin tones. A lot of times they're a little bit too orange for me. which you can adjust, by going down to the HSL sliders and adjusting saturation and luminance and all that stuff. But let's shift over to here. And for this one, just because I have its blues already kind of built in a little bit, use RLP 03, and you can see that the tints, just one click is a lot different. So I have a little bit more blue and there's a little bit more magenta in this photo, and I think it does the skin tone some justice. It's just not this flat orange, and that was one click. Let's go over here. Let's look at the fourth one, and then you have LXC 2, 3, and 4, which, like I said, is increase exposure a little bit, and that's not too bad. That that was LXC 04, and it's pretty high contrast. Let's create a virtual copy of this one. Reset. And I think for this one I would use RLP maybe 2, and that's one click difference. I think that's, I don't know, personally, I'm biased obviously, but I think that's a little bit more pleasing to the eye. Increase exposure just a little bit. If it's just a little bit too magenta for you, you can drop that down a little bit. Alright, lastly, let's go to this one and create a virtual copy again. And let's look at LXC 03, which I think looks really nice. I might warm it up just a little bit. Something like that. Maybe a little bit of exposure. That actually looks, I like how that looks right there. Oops. And let's look at mine. See at 1, 2, 3, and then 4. I think 2, maybe. And then for this, I would just take and drop down the tint just a little bit. And I think the skin tones in this are a lot more pleasing than they are over here on this one. So hopefully you like it. LXC is a solid preset, especially if you can learn to tweak and tone down the skin tones. But I just wanted to show you a side-by-side comparison between LXC and RLP, specifically on the skin tones, and how you can get, I believe, a better look with RLP. So have a good day.